and today we are in a new location. The dumplings are starting to stick, add to the bottom. Lesha forgot about the onion. The water in which the dumplings were boiled should never be served as a broth, as it is understood that they are boiling. Next, I roll and lower the dumplings. Well, you understand that the paste should be on the wallpaper, and in the stomach a pleasant, classy, tasty beef broth. Well, yes, store-bought dumplings fill the void, not with meat. Friends, I greet you, and today I want to talk about how such simple things can turn out to be complicated. Intrigued? Let's see what I'm talking about and what I mean. And I welcome you in my kitchen. In the kitchen with Alexei Borisov. And today we are in a new location. Take a look and evaluate. Write in the comments what they think. Did they like the old one more, or does the new one impress? Okay, but today I want to talk about boiling dumplings. Yes, it would seem very simple and at the same time difficult, and about the difficult moments I will now tell. So friends, to start, we'll pour enough water. I will show on the example of 10 dumplings. And accordingly, I have a frying pan. I poured 3 liters of water here. I turn on the maximum heating. And while our water is heating up, I will tell you about the next. There should be, in my understanding, 5 liters of water per kilogram of dumplings. Why? Firstly, when we immerse dumplings into boiling water, the water instantly cools down and the boiling process may stop. It's impossible, but it will definitely stop and become much less intense. The dumplings start to stick together, stick to the bottom, and as a result we have unpleasant impressions about this wonderful dish. Our water will soon boil and I need to salt it. Still, some take a small pinch of salt and put it in the water. No, that's not right. Water pulls everything out of our dumplings, so there should be enough salt in the water. I think it's comparable to boiling spaghetti, that is, closer to seawater. That is, it will be a little bit more and it will be oversalted. Here, I will use about half a tablespoon, that is, for 3 liters, half a tablespoon of salt. Our salt is going away. I'm taking the next ingredients. This is a bay leaf. I'll put 3 leaves here, and I have a fragrant pepper here. A few peas are also going into the water for us. The next ingredient we have is onion. I cut a small onion into 2 parts. Now my water is boiling, and I'm going to cook this so-called bouillon. Why, I'll explain. It's called, in my understanding, so-called. A bit later it should boil. Let it boil for 5 to 7 minutes. To extract the aromas and flavors from the bell pepper, bay leaf, to give off all the most valuable, and from the onion we got sweetness, these are its notes. After which we will proceed to the actual boiling. And now I will explain why the water in which we boil the dumplings is not considered broth. Firstly, flour will come off the dumplings and the water will turn into a slurry. So, you didn't hear? It's that stuff that our parents used to paste wallpaper with. If you go into some organized dumpling place, that is a dumpling shop, in other words, they will tell you there that the water in which the dumplings were boiled is never served as a broth. I recently filmed a video about broth. A hint will appear here, with the link in the description. Our broth should be good beef, chicken, maybe just vegetable, but separately cooked broth, then it will be very tasty. No matter how much we saturate that water where we will cook the dumplings with various spices, various vegetables, here I am arguing about the principle. If I cook dumplings just in ordinary salted water and in water, with bay leaf, with fragrant pepper, and with everything else. Closing his eyes to taste, he will never guess where the dumplings were cooked in the usual way and where in the enriched one. Look, my water has boiled and is actively bubbling. Now, as I said, let it boil for about 5 to 7 minutes. I'm reducing the heat and let it simmer gently, just so it doesn't splash all over my kitchen. But when I start dropping the dumplings into the boiling water, I'll turn the heat up to maximum. And why, you'll find out a bit later. Friends, notice the slight bubbling. For me, it's April 10th. The bouillon has acquired a greenish yellow tint. Now I'm turning it up to the max and we'll start loading the dumplings. Attention is one of the most important aspects in all of cooking. I have all 10s on my scorecard. And I start making a crow with a spoon. Now very carefully, why do I need a crow? So that the water would swirl and not let the dumplings stick to the bottom, I swirl and drop the dumplings. Then swirl and drop the dumplings again. Why do I do this one by one, 2 pieces at a time, to cool the water as slowly as possible so that the boiling does not stop, one by one, 2 pieces at a time, and I keep swirling. I do not stop this process. These are my last 2 pieces. I see that the stirring process is going on, I reproduce it. And most importantly, the first 2 minutes until the dough does not catch. Do not stop this whirlpool, this water vortex. It helps the dumplings not to slip and not to stick to the bottom. Look, I threw the dumplings, that's it, my temperature will not drop. I have a very active boiling. In this case, I will start to reduce. I think that 5 will be quite enough. The boiling will continue and the water will not splash out of the pan. I check carefully that nothing has stuck to the bottom. I can stop the water vortex. I wait until my dumplings float up and I will count 6 minutes until the dumplings float up for us. I want to discuss such a thing. Someone boils dumplings for 5 minutes, someone boils dumplings after they float up, boils there for 10 up to 12 minutes. Overcooking dumplings is just as bad as undercooking, so I do not recommend this. By experience, I understood that 6 to 7 minutes is just enough. But how to understand when the dumplings are already ready for this cutoff? 6 to 7 minutes, and all the dumpling preparation technology is very simple. They themselves will tell us everything, exactly when they float up, that's our cutoff. Focus and watch carefully. The dumplings have risen and everything is timed for 6 to 7 minutes. That's enough. The dumplings have floated up and I set a 6-minute timer. See you in a bit, slightly later. That's it. The timer has gone off. I'm turning off the heat. The dumplings have been boiling for 6 minutes. I kept them in boiling water and now I'm taking them out. Good thing the coarse pepper I used, by the way. I recommend it to you. It's large and won't stick in any way so that you don't notice it, and moreover, it won't get stuck in anyone's teeth. So we're taking out the dumplings and now we're going to test them. I'll cut one open, show you what's inside, whether they turned out juicy or dry, and we'll taste what they're like. So friends, take a look. First of all, I want to show that there's much less water now and it didn't boil away. It was absorbed by the dumplings into the dough. And you understand, if you had poured less water, accordingly, it would have just stayed at the bottom or it would have boiled away completely and your dumplings would have been stewed. Second, remember how bright light green-yellow saturated was the broth? Now it has become cloudy, and it became cloudy not just like that, it became cloudy because of the mucus. Can you imagine that, right? The color changed after 10 dumplings, and what if a whole kilogram was boiled there? Well, you understand yourself that the paste should be on the wallpaper, and in the stomach a pleasant, classy, tasty beef bouillon. I will now cut the dumpling in half and we'll see what's inside. Well, yes, the stores fill the dumplings with emptiness. They are meat. I see that the meat is fully cooked. The dough is not al dente and did not overcook. So let's taste. I feel a bit more than standard, like an elephant, don't I? The dumplings, thanks to precise boiling, never stuck anywhere, did not fall apart, were saturated. With salt, even from afar, you can taste the spices due to proper boiling. Your homemade ones will thank you. The next dumpling I'll try with sour cream. I took it specifically a bit fatter. I put out 25% and also cut it in halves as my dumplings are huge. I'll put a little cold sour cream for myself. Oh, by the way, before I put it in my mouth, pause and write in the comments how you like it. With sour cream, ketchup, mayonnaise or plain. No matter what anyone says, sour cream does its thing. And how to consume dumplings in your case is only for you to decide. But friends, I thank you for watching me. I hope all the life hacks I've told you will be used as intended. And I thank you for watching, and be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and cheers!